This is a zero cycle. But so is this. But today, I'm here to help. Yo, what's up? It is I. Here is what I'm going to cover today. We got the tower generation, dragon mechanics, the common zero setups with chords, offset setups, double bedding, bed timings, pearl clipping, tips and tricks, and some practice maps. Now this is a lot, so I've added timestamps for every section. Once you're done with the video, you will hopefully have learned one of the hardest mechanics in speedrunning. So, let's get into it. Yo, welcome to the end. There's two mobs here, Enderman and the Ender Dragon, but the dragon is the one that we're focused on. Once you enter the end, he randomly picks one of 4 nodes to go to and circles it while going down until he reaches a random height. The 4 nodes it goes to are front diagonal, back diagonal, front straight, and back straight. Once he reaches that height, he gets bored and flies away to a different one. And that's all you need to know about the dragon. Now let's get into your job. Now that we're getting into actually doing the zero cycle, you should check the description for a practice map. There's 2 of them. The first one is the one I use, but you can use other one if you want to prove you have free will. And while you're down there, go subscribe because I've spent hours on making this tutorial. Here's how you build the bed setup. You want to go staircase up 2 blocks, and then place a block to the side. Then place 2 blocks on top of that, and place an indestructible block, and then another indestructible block to the left. Some people also place one more indestructible block here, but you don't have to. Then you place your beds here, and explode them. For the anchors, put the glowstone in, protect yourself, and then blow it up. Once you spawn into the end, you want to pearl over to the node that the dragon is circling. Then, you want to go use beds to explode the dragon, do damage, and then boost it up at the same time. If it gets too low, it might break your bed, so watch out for that. I'll cover bed timings now. Bed timings are easily the hardest part of the zero cycle, but here's how I line them up. As the dragon approaches the bed, I wait until the middle of the dragon's small hitbox is in between the edge of the bed and the indestructible block next to it. The earlier you blow up the bed, the more damage you'll do but less knockback. If you blow up the bed later, you'll do more knockback but less damage. This can and will take a lot of practice, so make sure you're using those practice maps to the fullest potential. This is a double bed, and it helps you get faster end splits. You shoot the dragon with a bow or crossbow to freeze it in place so you get enough time to hit it with 2 beds at the same time. Shoot the bow right before it gets to the timing you want, and then explode the first bed as fast as possible. Then wait a few moments and explode your second bed. You can't do the second one too fast because of the dragon's immunity window. Now, you can hit dragon with 2 beds in 1 cycle and get faster and faster end times. Now that all the mechanics are explained, let's cover all of the setups and the offset versions. Every node has specific X, Y, and Z coordinates for you to go to if you want to reach it properly and do the most damage. The Y chord is pretty variable. There is a specific list of Y chords since some of them result in the dragon breaking your bed. However, for offset subs, you might go different X, Y, and Z chords. You want to always go for the highest Y chord, but depending on your speed and timing, you might not be able to reach it in time, so try and go for whichever one you're able to. The higher Y chord you're at, the further you'll be from that random Y value we talked about earlier, because you don't want the dragon to fly away. You want to keep it circling so you can keep bedding it until it dies. For this part, I'll have the possible Y values along with the X and Z coordinates for where you want to build your setup at. For example, one of the heights for this tower is 99, and the coordinates are 28, negative 26. So I'll go 28, 99, negative 26, and build my setup there. Alright, that's all the common top setups. Now let's get into all of the side and offset setups for those taller towers. These are really important since learning these setups is key to being able to zero in every situation. Now let's get into it. But now, I've got some tips and tricks for you to be even better at zero cycling. Let's begin. When you're building up, tap space every time you jump to go up a little bit faster. You can alternate with soul sand to go faster too. If you accidentally don't place an indestructible block for your bed setup, you can still save it by placing the indestructible block on the side of the bed leg. If your spawn gets buried like this, you can actually clip through the blocks and get to the surface faster. Look at the F3 menu and check your O value. Whatever it is the Y value of the highest block in your X and Z coordinate. Right here, it's 54, so if I go up, right here, this block is 54. If your O value is 55 or 54, dig up until your targeted block at the top is 55 or 54, whichever your O value is. Then, look at the edge and spam jump. Then you'll get through. If your O is 56, then dig up till your targeted block is 55. Then look at approximately -83 and throw your pearl and spam jump. If your O is 57, then dig up till your targeted block is 56. Then you want to wait till your axis is about -84, then shift and spam jump. For O58, place a block and then look at -85. You want your targeted block to be 57. Then shift, throw your pearl, and jump. If your O value is anything different, dig up till your targeted block is one less than the O value. Then place extra blocks so that you could reach it. So right here, I would go look at -85, shift, and spam jump. If you're pearling to a cage tower and get stuck inside, run at the wall and pearl down to skip mining. If you're out of explosives but the dragon is really low, you could still use the crystal as another explosive. You should organize your hotbar while you're pearling so you don't have to waste time doing it in the overworld. Just don't look at Enderman while you're doing it. I'm trying to raise Tutai to 1,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you help me out.
I spent a lot of time making this video, so you should probably subscribe, I guess. Also, don't worry about that, I have it framed in my basement.
Bye, thanks for watching.